Alright, YouTubers, welcome back to War Thunder Ground Forces with the Angry Nerd. And today we're going to take a look at the Matilda II. But before we get all into the history, let's take a closer look at the skin that's on this vehicle. It was created by Dom 3026, and it is based off of a Matilda II from the Australian 4th Armoured Brigade. Now, I went ahead and put the decals of the kangaroos on the turret. That wasn't included in the skin and wasn't on the actual vehicle. As a matter of fact, here is a picture of the actual vehicle that he used as a reference, and I think it is really good skin. So congratulations to Dom for creating this skin. It's wonderful and I'm enjoying it. And if you would also like this skin, I'm going to leave a link down in the description section below to Dom's live at warthunder.com profile, so you can go and find this skin for yourself. Okay, so the infantry tank Mark II, best known as the Matilda, was a British infantry tank of the Second World War. The design began as the A12 specification in 1936 as a gun-armed counterpart to the first Matilda tank, the machine-gun-armed two-man A11 infantry tank Mark I. The larger A12 was initially known as the Matilda II, Matilda Senior, or Waltzing Matilda. The Mark I was abandoned in 1940, and from then on the A12 was almost always known simply as the Matilda. The first suggestion for a larger infantry tank was made in 1936 with specification A12. The design was produced by the Woolwich Royal Arsenal, and Vulcan Foundry was selected as the manufacturer. Vulcan received a contract for 2 wooden mock-ups and 2 mild steel prototypes in November 1936. The first mock-up was delivered in April 1937, and the A12E1 prototype in April 1938. The prototypes proved excellent in a 1,000-mile test, resulting in only a few changes to improve the gearbox, suspension, and cooling. When it was realized that war was imminent, production of the Matilda II was ordered and that of the Matilda I curtailed. The first order was placed shortly after trials were completed, with 140 ordered from Vulcan in June 1938. But only 2 were in service when war broke out in September of 1939. Following the initial order from Vulcan Foundry, a second order was placed shortly after with Ruston Hornsby. With its heavy armor, the Matilda II was an excellent infantry support tank, but with somewhat limited speed and armament. It was the only British tank to serve from the start of the war to the end. Although it's particularly associated with the North African campaign, the Matilda was first used in combat by the 7th Royal Tank Regiment in France 1940, where only 23 of the unit's tanks were Matilda IIs. The rest were A11 Matildas. Its 2-pounder gun was comparable to other tank guns in the 37 to 45 millimeter range. Due to the thickness of its armor, it was largely immune but not impervious to German tank and anti-tank guns in France. The Germans found that the 88 millimeter anti-aircraft guns were the only effective countermeasure. In the counterattack at Arras in May 1940, British Matilda IIs and Matilda Is were able to briefly disrupt German progress, but being largely unsupported, they sustained heavy losses. All vehicles surviving the battle around Dunkirk were abandoned when the British Expeditionary Force evacuated. While the Matilda possessed a degree of protection that was unmatched in the North African theater, the sheer weight of the armor on the vehicle contributed to a very low average speed of about 6 miles per hour on desert terrain and 16 miles per hour on roads. At the time, this was not thought to be a problem since British infantry tank doctrine valued heavy armor and trench crossing ability over speed and cross-country mobility, which was considered to be a characteristic of cruiser tanks such as the Crusader. The slow speed of the Matilda was further exacerbated by a troublesome suspension and a weak power unit, which was created from two AEC 6-cylinder Bush engines linked to a single shaft. This arrangement was complicated and time-consuming to maintain, as it required mechanics to work on each engine separately and subjected automotive components to uneven wear and tear. It did provide some mechanical redundancy, since failure to one engine would not prevent the Matilda from using the other. In late 1940, during Operation Compass, Matildas of the British 7th Armored Division wreaked havoc among the Italian forces in Egypt. The Italians were equipped with L3 tankettes and M11 and 39 medium tanks, neither of which had any chance against the Matildas. Italian gunners were to discover that the Matildas were impervious to a wide assortment of artillery. Matildas continued to confound the Italians as the British pushed them out of Egypt and they entered Libya to take Barda and Tobruk. Even as late as November 1941, German infantry combat reports showed the impotence of ill-equipped infantry against the Matilda. Up to early 1942, the Matilda proved highly effective against Italian and German tanks, although vulnerable to medium caliber and larger caliber anti-tank guns. Ultimately, the Matilda's slow speed and unreliable steering mechanism became major problems in the rapid maneuver warfare often practiced in the open deserts of North Africa. When the German Afrika Korps arrived in North Africa, the 88 mm anti-aircraft gun was again pressed into service against the Matilda, causing heavy losses during Operation Battle Axe, when 64 Matildas were lost. The arrival of the more powerful 50 mm PaK-38 anti-tank gun and the 75 mm PaK-40 anti-tank gun also proved a means for the German infantry to engage the Matilda tanks at combat ranges. Nevertheless, during Operation Crusader, the Matilda tanks of the 1st and 32nd Army Tank Brigades were instrumental in the breakout from Tobruk and the capture of the Axis fortress at Barda. The operation was decided by the infantry tanks after the failure of the cruiser tank-equipped 7th Armored Division to overcome the Axis forces in the open desert. Late in the North African campaign, the Matilda's 40 mm OQF 2-pounder gun was also deemed inadequate, but due to the small size of the turret, upgunning the Matilda was impractical. It was also expensive to produce, so Vickers proposed an alternative, the Valentine tank, which had the same gun and a similar level of armor protection, but on a faster and cheaper to build chassis. As the Valentines started to arrive in the autumn of 1941, the Matildas were slowly phased out of British service through attrition. During its production run, some 2,987 units were produced of various marks, and today around 70 Matilda IIs survive in various degrees of preservation. Now here in War Thunder, the Matilda II is a rank 2 with a battle rating of 3.0. It has a 262 horsepower engine propelling the 27.3 ton vehicle to a top speed of 14.9 miles per hour. It comes equipped with the 40 mm QF 2-pounder cannon, and with a maxed out crew, you can achieve a reload of 2.9 seconds. So what do I think about the Matilda II here in War Thunder? Well, basically, I think that it is over-tiered at Tier 2 and a battle rating of 3.0. I think it would be better suited adjacent from its real life replacement, the Valentine Mark I, at Tier 1 and a battle rating of 2.3. I think that would be a better fit for the Matilda. I've been having a real problem with it at its current position. Not that you can't do well. I haven't done very well in the Matilda, but I'm sure there are some people who are much more skilled than I am who can really do a good job with this tank. But I do hope that they lower its battle rating. It just seems odd to me that its replacement gets a lower battle rating than it does. So why don't we see what I was actually able to do with the Matilda Mark II. Here we go. Okay, so we have picked up Carpathians. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. I know I don't want to go up towards C. It'll take me so long to get up there. So let's see. I think I'm gonna head down toward B. I guess that's B. No, I will not attack the C point.
I agree.
Oh, we're in here with the Churchill. The T-34s. All these tanks can just totally obliterate the Matilda. And with the 40 millimeter, it takes several hits to get rid of one of these other tanks. And by then they've swung their cannon around and you're toast. But hopefully we will avoid that. We need to play very cautiously. Sherman 105. Well, there's somebody more my speed right there. Well, he's faster than me. He's not necessarily my speed, but because he's fast, I'm slow. Okay, let's see. He's starting to peek around this corner. See some red. Other side of that rock. Somebody's in the cap already. Some more red over there. And lots of red over here by A. So I need to get in a position where I'm not getting shot by, hold on. My friendly is over here faced off with this guy, and he is not knocking him out. See if I can help him out with that. Just trying to find the right spot. That's the spot right there. Okay, let's see. Get behind this little hill, see if I can fire on any of these guys over here. Maybe this guy. tickled his track a little bit. Oh, who hit me? No, back up, back up. He doesn't like being tickled. Alright, we got somebody back this way. Need to watch because I think there's somebody behind this rock. But we also have enemies right over here I need to worry about as well. So assist. Somebody's shooting at this guy here. I'm going to drop down this little hill right here and just peek at who's on the other side of this rock. Oh, there we go. Nothing. Nothing. A little pin there in the front. Come on. There we go. Oh, shoot. There we go. I'm glad he was preoccupied with my little friend over there. Say hello to my little friend. And kill him instead of me. Okay, what we got here? KB1. KV1 is over there in the cap. They got 2 cap points to our 1. Do not necessarily just want to leave him in the cap. So I'm gonna move over here. This is probably not a good idea. Let me see. Where is he? I thought he was in the cap. Or maybe I can cap. Let me see if I can cap the zone. They know I'm here. I hear planes. I don't like the sound of that. Almost got it. A little bit more. Come on, come on. There we go. There we go. You sneaky little nerd. You capped our zone. One more. There we go. I don't want to be sitting here when their little counterattack comes because I'm so slow I won't be able to maneuver out of the way. There's somebody right there. I'm greedy. Oh, I'm not doing anything to him. Kind of back up. Ooh. Trying to stay down the low spot so he can't shoot me. Okay, I think I got out of there. Come back around to this other side of the rock here. And if they start to try to retake it, I can bring fire on them again. And hopefully I won't be the focus of their attention.
Attack enemy troops! Take him down!
Okay, we got some enemies over here. Nothing. We've got all 3 zones, that's good. It's looking pretty good. We might pull this one off. Might be able just to stay right here behind this rock. See if anybody's trying to. There we go. There we go. That'll work for me. Okay, so we picked up a multi-strike, tank rescuer, and shadow strike streak. Destroyed 4 ground units with 1 assist. 4th place in the team. 17,365 silver lions. Yeah, didn't do all that well, but we didn't die, which is my usual result. So we are going to save it. Just missed out on being a tank ace. Okay, so the Matilda II, just to recap, I think its battle rating is just a little high at 3.0. I would prefer if it was more in the 2.3 range with the Valentine Mark I, which was the Matilda's replacement. It's very slow, so I usually select a route closest to whatever my spot is going to be, because you don't really have the speed to run around and flank if you want to get into the action. You just kind of have to head straight there. So as it is right now, where it is, I'm not liking the Matilda so much. But, you know, all of these British tanks are subject to being changed, where they are, how they perform, what their battle ratings are. It's the British tech tree is still in beta, so all of it can change, and hopefully the Matilda will. If you liked this look at the Matilda II, hit that like button. You can also find me on Facebook. I have a Angry Nerd Facebook page. The link will be down in the description, along with my Twitter account and my Twitch, although I don't stream all that often. So, once again, like it if you like it, don't if you didn't. Subscribe if you would, it really helps. It'll help me reach my goal for 2016. But as always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Nerd out.